Here's a daily posture correction you can do in under 60 seconds, whether you're at home or at work, and it's perfect if you've got low back pain or if you spend all of your day sitting. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Michael Fatika, the lead osteopath and spine specialist here at Back in Shape. And today we're going to be demonstrating this particular posture correction, as well as giving you some extra tips, because some of you, when you find you stand up correctly, it gives you a little bit of pain in the neck or in the lower back. We're going to tell you what to do about that and how you can change your posture for the long term at the end of this video too. So let's begin by thinking about your posture as three boxes. We have the head, the center of mass. We have the rib cage, the center of mass, and we have the pelvis, another center of mass. Now, this posture technique applies whether you're standing or sitting. The only difference is if you're standing, you have an extra center of mass, if you will, at the bottom, which is going to be the feet. But the important thing that we understand is that these centers of mass are connected by certain parts of the spine. The head to the rib cage, that's second center of mass, connected via the neck. And then the rib cage and the pelvis connected via the lower back. And if we have any sideways movements, forwards or backwards movements from that aligned, stacked position, we're going to put strain on the various areas of the spine, and that's where it can start to lead to problems or be a barrier to problems getting better, such as lower back pain or neck pain. So now we understand aligning these three boxes in place. Let's go over to the wall and do the 5-step process for you to correct your posture in under 60 seconds. So step number 1 is lining everything up, all of those boxes. So heels within an inch from the wall, your bum touching the wall, your middle back touching the wall, and your head touching the wall, like so. Step number 2 is going to be to tighten the core by doing a core engagement and lifting and elevating your pelvic floor. If you want a little bit more help doing this because you're struggling to feel it, you can check out the link in the description for the candle drill video, which will help you master this core engagement. Step number 3 is going to be doing a chest pop. And this movement here is about tightening the muscles between the shoulder blades. And what we'll do is we'll elevate, imagining there's a little hook to where the microphone is on me, lifting up at about a 45-degree angle. At that angle, we're going to pull the chest up and out, and as we pull the chest up and out, the shoulders drop ever so slightly, the shoulder blades squeeze in slightly, and we feel a real engagement now. Our core set of muscles around this region here is nice and engaged. The lower and middle back muscles are nice and engaged, and now the head is standing over the top of the shoulders too, with everything nice and active. Step number 4, I'm going to use some glasses from the laser downstairs to illustrate. And this is just about the head position. Some of you will find that your head is like so. And you see the frame of the glasses is pointing to the ceiling. And this is because there's stiffness, etc., which we'll explore in another video. What we want with our head position, if we do find we're looking up ever so slightly, once we get to this 4th step, is to just nod down so that the glasses frame here is either horizontal or just slightly up, just like I'm doing here. Essentially, I'm looking onto the horizon. So I've got my core engaged, my back muscles engaged as we did earlier with the chest pop, and now my head is in the right position. Step number 5 is hold this. Engage all the muscles. Feel what it feels like to be in this vertical position. And we can have a bonus step, which is to walk away from the wall and finish it up and still remain holding that great posture. So there you have it, the posture correction exercise. It takes less than 1 minute, and you can really start to engage and feel what it's like to have good posture and practice that so it becomes habit. To finish this video off, we thought we'd give you a couple of extra tips to really help make sure that you can do this with success. Because I know for a fact that those of you with either neck issues and upper back issues or lower back issues might find you get some pain when you get into these positions. And that's a real issue, because ultimately you getting stuck stooped forwards or bent forwards or your head protruding forwards like so is going to only serve to make the underlying problem worse. And what you will find is as you improve those issues through the correct rehabilitation, maybe through treatments, depending on your particular circumstances, this posture exercise drill will be something that you can come to time and time again to evaluate your progress. How much less pain are you in now you're doing it? As you make improvements, you'll find that you slowly find this quick posture drill less and less painful, and that's a great measure of your progress with your rehabilitation. The second bonus tip we've got for you in this video will help you make changes for the long term. But understand, as you first do this, you'll feel those muscles activated and you might get a bit of soreness, and there's 2 reasons why this happens. Number 1 is that your spine, your joints, etc. are so stiff that the muscles, as weak as they are having to work through extra stiffness to get you back into that right position. Number two is that those muscles themselves are actually just not conditioned to hold you in this way. Over the years, you've built up bad practices, stiffnesses, muscle strengths in certain areas and muscle weaknesses in others. And that means that it's actually going to be more effort in the short term for you to make these postural changes and handle or hold yourself with good posture. Finally, it's only part of the puzzle to do the posture engagement drill, to stand correctly and be more conscientious about it. But actually, in order to make this effective for the long term, you have to build up strength. And there are 4 exercises that you can do to help you with this. Number 1, we have a simple squat. That's going to help work on the lower part, the lower body, the legs, the glutes, but also as you go through the squat, your lower back and core muscles are going to have to be engaged and they will get stronger over time as you use more weights. The second is a hip hinge, and that's where we are hinging forwards and the spine is in a horizontal position or gradually more horizontal position. The great thing about this is it builds on the work that the squat has done lower down the body and will start to challenge those middle and even upper back muscles and strengthen those too. Finally, we have a modified chest bar, or what we like to call a middle back engagement, which is where you can use resistance bands or you can use cables in the gym to really open out that chest, holding onto some weights, resistance bands or cable weights in your hands to actually strengthen those muscles, doing that chest pop as you lift your chest towards in that up 45 or so degree angle. Finally, we actually have a stretch, and the stretch is really to stretch out this musculature on the front of your chest. And we can very easily do this in any doorway around the office, around at home, by simply placing our hands on the door frames and stretching through to really open out our chest. We spend all day, every day, whether you're sitting or standing, on our phones, on laptops, maybe reading, and it's all about this. And actually opening that out with a stretch will help that thing that I mentioned earlier about the stiffnesses on the front that are making it harder for those back muscles to hold you in a good posture. We wanted to close this video off with some final thoughts to help you. Number 1 is that you're going to see some sensationalist posts on social media saying, oh, posture doesn't matter for this, that, and the other reason. But the simple fact of the matter is it does. And there's some small slivers of information about certain specific cases where someone with bad posture can actually not have pain or do certain things. And there's much more explanation required than just simply saying posture doesn't matter. It does. Simply stacking those blocks on top of one another, as opposed to stacking them off to one side or forwards or backwards, massively decreases the forces that are at play. Let alone if you get an injury. If you have an injury, those forces, even if you've been managing them well over the years, are going to be problematic for you and they're going to be a barrier to recovery. So you may as well start to improve your posture, and this quick drill is going to be great for you. If you need any help because you're struggling with lower back pain particularly, then you can check out the free Back in Shape Masterclass that we've got. There'll be a link in the description and it's on the website and on the YouTube channel homepage as well. So you can check that out and give yourself that step-by-step guidance on how you can go about building up strength, working on some of the exercises that we've discussed here today, and ultimately improving your posture, improving your well-being, and benefiting from the many other health benefits that come from holding yourself effortlessly in a good posture. It takes a bit of work, but you can get there. And with a little bit of help, we'll help you do that. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching the video. If you do know someone else that can improve their posture, maybe you've seen them, caught them in a little photo on social media, caught them standing not so well, maybe at a family gathering or something like that, then send and share this video with them. Hopefully it'll really help them. And obviously, if you've got someone struggling with lower back pain, this really will be a game changer for them in the long term, holding themselves more effectively, putting less strain on the lower back too. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.